Alright, welcome back, everybody, to the LOS Champs stream. It is Cobra and Pandy here with the final match of the night, Weeb, Esports, and Jetstream. Sir, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Feeling great. This is the third matchup of the night. We've had two wonderful ones thus far. The last one was honestly even better than the first. It was a bit closer, so we got it to 4 games. Maybe we can go for 5 games this time. But we're coming out of Tier 3B tonight. In the third game, we got, again, Nameplate, Jetstream, and Weeb Esports. Both teams, or one team, Weeb Esports is coming in at 2-0 record, and Jetstream at 1-1. So both teams have seen some success. Jetstream has seen a loss, but Weeb Esports has a 3-2 record. I believe they may have had a bye that corresponds with that game record. So both teams have seen some success. Both teams have dropped a couple matches, so we'll see how they can balance that success and some defeat into an overall great series.
Yeah, it's a really interesting matchup because, again, we're in the middle. This is week 3 of the 8-week Swiss format, and because just the amount of teams in 3B, we get a few of these awkward matchups where it's not two teams facing off with the same record here. But really interesting here because Jetstream actually has a positive goal differential that is better than Weeb Esports. So, again, the small sample size here, especially earlier in the season, but I do think this is going to be a very competitive match.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I've seen Jetstream play in the past. This team is going to be extremely aggressive. That kind of goes along with the positive goal differential that we saw that you just mentioned. Weeb Esports is going to be an absolute task for them to handle this. Jetstream played in Tier 3B last season. I know they did pretty good. I don't know much about Weeb Esports myself, but I know Jetstream is going to be really aggressive throughout the entire series. They're going to put on a lot of pressure, but they have to be careful with leaving some openings that Weeb Esports is going to be able to peek through and have some success with.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for the Weeb Esports, trying to, again, we talked about how, in this stage of the Swiss, how important it is to kind of be keeping up with the pack. There's a couple of other teams that are 2-0. One team that has already got their 3rd victory of this week 3. So you want to make sure that you're keeping up with the pack. Give yourself as much wiggle room later on in the season. Because again, top 16 teams, single elimination. So not only just making the playoffs, but just getting that preferential seeding so that you're able to get that, hopefully, that first round a little bit easier.
Yeah, and this is kind of that turning point. Yes, it is only week 3 out of 8, but there's only 8 weeks. You're 2-0 right now. A loss will kind of put you down in the middle of the pack, whereas a win will propel you to a really comfortable spot. This is an even more important position for Jetstream to be in. If they win this game, they're kind of on the upper half, their upper echelon of the teams, kind of showing more success than some's, feeling a little more confident. Your headspace is a little bit better with a couple of wins, whereas if you drop this series, it may put you in a little bit of a tougher spot. We're going to have more success towards the back half of the season, whereas if Weeb wins this one, they may be a little bit more comfortable. Maybe it can drop a game or 2 as far as the rest of the season goes, but again, it is 8 weeks. Plenty of time for both these teams to work with. It's still kind of working out what works, seeing what doesn't, and just kind of learning from mistakes that you make in this game. But this is 3B, so this is teams from GC1 to GC2, so these teams are going to be just a bit faster than the previous game, and so I'm just looking forward to see what these teams have to offer in this one.
Absolutely, and if you're looking forward to the entirety of this season and the entirety of League OS Champs, make sure you check out the Enthusiast membership. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, but we want to make sure we mention it again. $20 a year or $2 a month can get you so many extra things here. You could get extra titles, you could get extra badges, you could get extra room for your trophies, and a very clear path to any upgrades in the tiers here. So it's something you want to do. Actually, there's Pandy, you quite recently have joined in the Enthusiast membership. How are you feeling after this, sir?
As soon as I clicked purchase, you guys may have wondered why a game was about a minute behind. Cookies actually was like, hey man, you want to buy this? I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to see what benefits I get out of this thing. I clicked buy. the next match was just that much better, you guys. We had 4 games instead of 3. That's what you get with this package. You have much more. We have much more to offer with the Enthusiast package. Please go on and purchase the package. $2 a month or $20 a year. You got 2 options. You get so many benefits, and it just feels so much better being an enthusiast here.
Yeah, absolutely. Feeling so much better, and it is just a relief. You know, maybe a little bit of a spring in your step now. Flash Fandy all of a sudden grew a little bit taller during the stream as well. So very excited for that. Also, a quick shout out to League OS for powering the league. Very important to make sure that we know what LOS stands for. League OS, obviously, kind of running the show here, along with Cookies kind of pressing the buttons behind us here. But back to the match here as we get ready. Again, another NOLA Flight team on the stream. Unfortunately, Jetstream, they kind of have to redeem a little bit of the honor here for their fallen comrades here. Do you feel like they're going to be feeling any kind of pressure going into this match?
Definitely a lot of pressure. We've got 3 games, excuse me, on stream tonight from NOLA Flight. We saw the first one, huge win for them. The second one, a bit of a tough loss, fortunately for them, dropping to 0-3. But both teams tonight, even at 3-3. We got a 3-0 start for the first game, 0-3 start for the second game, and it is Jetstream's job to take care of that one for NOLA Flight and have a positive record for the org tonight on stream. But it's Weeb's job to turn that one down. Jetstream kind of the underdog of this series at 1-1, while Weeb coming in at 2-0. It's going to be both teams' job to see what works, what doesn't, and how can we just beat this team that is playing so fast and so consistent ahead of us.
All right, well, players are joining into the lobby right now. We are just moments away from game time. Again, upping the pace here. Tier 3B against 2 opponents that have been ready and waiting to go. 5 minutes on the clock.
Game 1 begins between NOLA Flight, Jetstream, and Weeb Esports. Both these teams are looking for a very huge win so far in this one. Week 3 begins here. That third match just coming off to a bang dock off the backboard. Hypernova just kind of perched there up at the top. We got Rick just waiting for that touch there off the backboard. Now the touch, big pinch coming out from NOLA Flight. Fox is there to chase it down, and will start the scoring. Jupiter credited with the goal, and Jetstream will begin the scoring.
Yeah, that's a wonderful look there, and then just a little bit of the setup off the cars. The pinch just directly down the middle, exactly the kind of look that you like. And Jetstream, that's one of those where you will take it.
Take it and run with it is definitely the answer there. Back to work off the kickoff. Hypernova almost able to slot one in there off the little redirect there on the side wall. Ridiculous there for Weeb Esports alongside Graydon and Doc. I couldn't introduce the teams because of that pinch goal that was put in so fast. Jupiter, Hypernova, and Fox coming out for NOLA Flight. Jetstream, the 1-goal advantage to NOLA Flight thus far. There's Rick there off the ceiling. Can't quite grasp the touch. Graydon kind of just holds the touch into the backboard. Now Fox is going to be there for the interception. Headed back the other way. It's going to be a 1v2. Doc hot on his behind, looking for a demo there. And so we see some physical play coming out early from Weeb.
Yeah, definitely looking to kind of knock their opponents off of the line. And, not quite working out for them yet, but they're starting to chip away at the opposing side. And keeping the ball safe. They're really playing a very wide game, and it looks like right now Jetstream, they're finding some ways to kind of make their ingress here. A couple of interceptions have done them wonders. Shot goes through, awkward for Doc, needs a little bit of assistance, and the defense will have to be on their best behavior here.
So many shots being put on the net right now. Fox just able to get that one held in the corner. The touch back out midfield to Jupiter. Infield pass, ridiculous there to take over, and finally a clear out from Weeb Esports. This team in pink is really needing an offensive attack here, but as soon as that ball gets down in the corner, Jupiter is there to slam it back into their defensive end. Ridiculous. Low boost here is going to have to be forced, but he's actually going to stay on the ball here, picking up a couple pads to make it work. Maybe a hook shot chance. We got a man midfield, but big touch off the backboard, but that one, big defense coming in clutch for Jetstream.
Oh, right now another shot, not going to be as deadly as the previous ones, but I do like the attacking play for Weeb Esports. They don't mind slowing it down, and as Rick was kind of making their way, they were not thinking goal first. They were thinking trying to open up another opportunity for their teammates. The 50s were working out and just had control of the ball. So, as we get to the second half of this game, I think Weeb Esports starting to get the feel for how they could really make an attack work for them.
And I think for a team that is as quick and as aggressive as Jetstream is, I think the key for them is to try to control the pace to what they're comfortable with. They can't try to outspeed a team like this, because we all know if we try to beat out a team that's really fast, it's going to be tough. But speaking of fast, that's a fast one from Fox, the right side. It'll be a goal for Null Flight.
This one's tough. This is another, I think it is a pinch, because that is a ton of speed on that. That's the second goal pace for the side of Jetstream. That one, there was at least a defender in net, but I mean, that distance, that's a tough one to get around.
I think that was technically an own goal. So once again, Jetstream, you take it. You move on here. Though Weeb Esports definitely not out of this one yet. Two kind of unfortunate goals in the way of the opposition. That one's going to be really awkward on the Null Flight defense, but is anyone there? Nobody home from Weeb Esports to slam it in the net off the rebound, and Jupiter back on the offensive after such a close chance on defense.
Yeah, a little bit of surprising there, because Fox literally had no boost and, forced into a really slow turn, and you're waiting for any Weeb Esports car to kind of knock that one into the net. It just did not happen. So they'll, again, go back to the drawing board. Hopefully they'll get the spacing that they need, but we need to see some more pink cars in the offensive zone here.
It seems like they are really trying to do that right now without overextending. That is the overarching figure that they need to follow. But Hypernova there once again to continue the pressure. Jupiter the one to facilitate. And Weeb Esports now down 3.
Yeah, they, again, just well done on the offensive side. The F1 car looking speedy. Probably the quickest I've ever seen one of those cars besides on the track. But less than a minute here. Weeb Esports, now they need a little bit of injection of speed here, maybe a change of the tires, so to speak, and they are trying to find it. Rick, unfortunately, not able to break through. The defense for Jetstream is probably the most impressive thing that we've seen this game.
Yeah, they're staying so calm on the defensive line, especially when the time is needed for it. They are facing a lot of pressure from the Weeb Esports counterattacks, and they're just staying calm in the net. One person at a time. No double commits have been made. As I say that, there goes 2 defenders on the ball for Null Flight defense. But still, it's not a threatening double commit. They're making the double commits. Yeah, double commits aren't the best that can happen, but they're not doing it in the worst times that are possible. That one just dangerous. Doc, unfortunately, just can't slot it in. 10 seconds left. This game has flown by, and Jetstream is going to take a 3-0 win. Ridiculous. Almost just barely able to get through there, and Jetstream, once again, this game flew by, but 3-0 win for Jetstream.
Yeah, Jetstream, I think right now they're having a real big understanding of what Weeb Esports would like to do, and they're so well positioned to cut out any of those infield passes. Like, they almost scored a 4th goal there in the final moments, but I mean, now Weeb Esports, I liked the moments that they did to really slow down the pace. I think we saw it from Ridiculous there, where early in the game, took their time, beat multiple defenders with the 50s and with flicks, and led to a really good scoring opportunity, and then they kind of abandoned that look.
Yeah, and we've seen them kind of have a lot of chances on the front of the net. 3 shots we saw, and most of those chances have been when they've kind of slowed the ball down, looking for teammates midfield, trying to get an awkward flick. And we see Jetstream just kind of flying all over the ball. We know that they're going to be playing aggressive. It just comes down to how well they can be consistent and throw Jetstream off of their game, because right now there's nothing stopping them. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of speed coming out from all 3 of the Jetstream players right now. And I feel like the only thing that we can do right now is, 1, get physical, which we didn't see many demos, I don't even think at all, out of any of the 3 players from Weeb. And even then, trying to just control the pace of your own game. Like you said, we saw some chances, but Jetstream, unfortunately for Weeb, just kind of had a couple unfortunate goals. You don't hang your head, it's only game 1.
Yeah, and so I mean, talking a little bit about the unfortunate goals, I mean, 2 of those goals were basically unsavable pinches from either the complete other side of the field and that side ball kind of was positioned, I believe, at the midfield. But really, we only saw a goal from close range, that final third goal, which was a nice pass, kind of dropped down from the corner. Maybe it was truly some unlucky breaks for the side of Weeb, and now they could, settle down, take a breath, understand that there was a few things that were maybe completely out of their control, and figure out a way to get their first goal here in the series.
And that kind of goes with the economy of the system in threes, right? So you kind of basically see it. Some games just don't go your way. You kind of have some teams that just kind of get some lucky breaks and ultimately just kind of take a game off of it. It's only game 1. They're the kind of, Jetstream is the underdog of the series as far as record goes. Weeb is kind of sitting on top. They're kind of expected to control the pace here. If game 1 doesn't go their way, it's so easy to kind of let that get to your head. But the key here is you kind of stay calm, you play your game, and you control the speed. And that's exactly what we saw them try to do. It's just up to them to take it and just run with it for all 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Game number 2 coming up here in just a moment. And, both these teams are going to have to recognize the give and go of the series, the ebb and flow, if you will. And Weeb Esports now finding a little bit of room to work as Doc tries to kind of find a way out of their defensive third. Will be stopped and will reset early here in this game 2.
Here's Doc from the midfield looking for a double tap. That chance just goes wide. Ridiculous is there for the rebound. It seems like Jetstream players were all focused on Doc. They had no idea that there was another player perched right below, ready to score.
Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest decoy that you could ask for there. I mean, Up at the top, you have to respect it, and they do look like they're in control. They do look like they have enough boost to get back to that, and as soon as the miss comes through, there's not really any time for the adjustment, and you have absolutely no chance of seeing the run if you're locked in the ball cam, watching the ball, watching that from the ceiling. So a good look here for Weeb as their score. That is their first one of the series, I believe. So it's a great start for them, and hopefully we get more to come.
Now there's Jetstream. They're facing a lot of pressure right now. Jupiter is going to have to stretch back and make a save. It seems like the rotations are a bit high. We expected a little bit of that with how aggressive they played in the first game. Now, Weeb just trying to continue to control the pace here. Back to work there off the kickoff just a few short moments ago. Ridiculous. He's going to scoop one back up in the own corner. Out of gas. They're going to be forced to turn back. Hypernova. We see them playing very aggressive. The backflip forces them to turn away. Jupiter just can't find the touch off the backboard. Graydon, we didn't see much of them in the first game, but there's a big clear for them. Hypernova trying to find Fox in the midfield. A little bit of a double commit coming out, but Hypernova is there. Unfortunately, a Weeb Esports player just wasn't there on the receiving end of it to get them to be punished for it, but yet again, we see some double commits coming out from Jetstream. A little bit of a dangerous positioning. I'm surprised we don't see a counterattack mounting soon.
Well, and that is kind of the double-edged sword there for double commits. We don't really need to say a lot about them if you get the ideal result, if things go positively for him. But you can kind of just shrug them off, wipe the dirt off your shoulder, no harm, no foul. But as soon as you have double commits and it goes negatively, and it can go incredibly negatively, incredibly quickly, that's when they start to become a problem. Jetstream, they're not quite there yet. They haven't been punished for a double commit, but it's starting to see they're not getting the results they were getting in game number 1.
Yeah, we saw some pinches kind of head right in the net after some double commits. Just things worked out for them. That's a great point that they haven't necessarily been punished for. That's a dangerous spot. But Rick, once again, there's a pinch headed right back the other way. Fox bumped by his own defender there. I believe that was actually Doc of Weeb Esports, but Hypernova, fantastic read there off the backboard. Now Fox looking for a tight angle touch, not going to find it, but Doc has a man on the wall. Hypernova, once again, disruption touch. It's going to force that one back to the backboard. Jupiter, high touch to Hypernova. It's going to be dangerous, but Graydon is there, stays on his feet, stands tall, and makes a save.
Yeah, I love to see this team continue to go for the backboard here. It does seem like there's some openings on both sides of the net, and both teams, really wanting to take a swing at what that read would be like. As we're seeing a lot of backboards and a lot of team pinches here. We're seeing them at they're getting quite a few at a high rate. So excited to see, what next one will get going here.
We haven't seen one go in the net in a while. A couple have been threatening, but we will see how that goes. Now, Ridiculous trying to find a touch there. No bump, no good, as we're going to have Fox headed back the other way for Jetstream. Now, Jupiter, sidewall maybe has a man, but he's going to take it solo. Backboard not going to be an option. Hypernova heads back the other way. Double tap, nothing doing there. It's Fox, no boost. Maybe looking for Jupiter midfield as Jetstream still on the offensive. Hypernova touches back in. Doc forced down. Backboard touch is going to roll around. Fox ready to receive it midfield. Off the backboard. Doc in a tough spot, but Ridiculous there is just able to scoop up the touch. Now we see some physical play coming out from the Jetstream boys. Now Jupiter, once again, another chance. Off the side wall. We're seeing Jetstream press further and further into this pink corner, Cobra, but still nothing doing for him.
Yeah, Weeb Esports are doing a really good job of defending these corners, and, as long as they don't give anything up for free, the defense has been holding up, and they have to be careful of where some of these clears go. There was a few moments where they cleared into the middle of the net, and there's no player on Jetstream that is too afraid to get up and get active and show a little bit of presence early on in those plays.
Braden looking for a touch midfield. That's a dangerous one. Straight to Ridiculous. The bump unsuccessful. Fox is going to be able to stand tall and once again make another save. Still 1-0 lead. 18 seconds to go. Jetstream is going to need an offensive push, but Fox, that touch is going to fall back in the hands of Weeb Esports. 10 seconds to go. Jupiter, the takeover midfield. Gets it past one. The touch, no good. Doc stands tall once again on the goal line. And this game saved once again. The ball goes down. Doc actually keeps it up. I respect the rule one, but finally the touch not in control of Jetstream, and Weeb will even the series.
Yeah, really good look here from Weeb, and they didn't need to win this demonstrably. They just had to get the one goal and hold on their defensive side. A lot more structure there. They seem to really, they kept their corners so very clean. And Jetstream, it wasn't for a lack of trying. They actually had a few more shots, 2 more shots than Weeb Esports did. But it's just they didn't really get the same amount of space, and those those wonder goals, those 2 pinches that went against Weeb Esports didn't happen this game.
That kind of goes to show the mental strength of Weeb Esports in this game. You drop the previous game in a shutout. You win this one in a shutout because you're mentally strong. It's easy to let a couple unlucky goals kind of get against you, saying, oh, the world's against me. We're just getting kind of unlucky goals, and we're just going to kind of let that be the tone for the series, is kind of getting unlucky, kind of not having things go our way. But no, they changed the pace. They controlled the pace of their game. They played their speed that they wanted to play. Jetstream, yes, they played very, very strong. They played very aggressive, but they didn't let that get to them. You mentioned that the shot totals were in favor of Jetstream, but it comes down to quality of shots, and Weeb definitely showed that they had better quality of shots and better quality pressure.
All right, well, let's see who can keep up the good quality of play here in this game number 3. Played off the top. Doc has been looking quite dangerous as we're getting further and further into this series, doing a little bit of everything on the offense and defensive side, but it's going to require, again, clean play from, I believe, both sides in order to take the victory here.
Without a doubt, Ridiculous in a tough spot, but he has a little bit of time to work with. Not that much time, as that was a dangerous spot to put himself in. Both teams looking to prevent things like that from happening. It's not much of a thing we have seen that much throughout this series, Cobra, is some dangerous positioning on defense. We've seen some threatening shots, but never too much awkward positioning on defense as much as that. But ultimately, they were able to keep it out of their net. Doc back on offense for Weeb Esports. Jupiter, that's a tough spot, but speaking of awkward positioning, that went almost an own goal. Both teams have their share of danger, and it just stays out.
That was...
Oh, my goodness.
Tough. That was tough for both of us to watch there. As again, it's 2 moments where you're seeing them... Basically, they're on the train tracks. The train is coming down, and they move at the very last moment to find themselves out of danger. Again, nothing has come from these awkward positionings, but it doesn't help that they find themselves in this moment. Shot across, nice pass, and a wonderful full team play. Hypernova the recipient of that wonderful dish.
There is a mistake capitalized on. Doc was looking for a clear to a teammate, but the only teammate was in net. A 1-2-3 play, headed back the other way. Jetstream goes up 1-0.
Yeah, that's really kind of prying open the defense there. And, you know, again, full team play. We're not going to see too many of those. I don't think Jetstream have had the opportunity to kind of position everyone so forward like that in order to get multiple players in position like that. But one goal could be all you need here. We saw a 1-goal game in game number 2. I would not be surprised if now they're fighting over this 1-goal deficit for the rest of this game.
We finally see some demos coming out. Both teams have been playing so close. A 1-goal game could mean everything in this one, specifically because of the last one. We saw 2 goals that arguably should have gone in the first one, which means that is also a 1-goal game because that was a 3-0 scoreline. So this series is about as close as we can ask for. Jupiter, the touch, handled well by Graydon there on the short post there. Now Graydon, another touch, long bomb. Hypernova can't catch up, and after a team play from Jetstream, and Weeb will respond just after.
Yeah, Graydon kind of cutting in there, finding a little bit of space, and takes a shot. No hesitation with the first time. And, you know, to be successful with a shot like that, you have to catch it perfectly to get all of the pace that you need. And, you know, the placement, it was fairly middle. The defense was rotating back, but, you know, just enough firepower on that to get it through.
That's why it is so important to have an attacker on the ball pretty much at all times in a consistent fashion. As soon as Nulliflight stopped that pressure to rotate back is whenever Weeb Esports took over and found that open net. That's why spacing and positioning is so important rather than playing in like an I formation when everyone goes at the same time. It opens up the net. There's an example of it. The game will stay tied there. Fox threatened in the net, but makes a comfortable save. Now Doc is going to try and put an awkward touch, but nobody there for Nulliflight defense. What happened? He was by himself.
Yeah, there was a player on the other side. Hypernova leaves the play right there. You can see all 3 players were there, and Fox is looking around. I don't think he saw Nova leave, and they're thinking, this shouldn't be my ball. Like, in the rotation, they were kind of planning that they would have someone else to cover for him, but they were all alone, and that led to a indecisive play. But Ridiculous is not indecisive there. Will be able to get that one through with a quickness.
Yeah, that's a great response once again. After facing the ball on their own goal line multiple times, they turn it around into a goal. A kickoff goal is once again another comfortable one they have to their favor. But back off the kickoff, we see Jetstream playing aggressive once again. We saw them punished for being a little bit too aggressive with the last couple of goals now, but Noth team still definitely in it here. Jetstream trying to get physical, but it's Weeb this time, trading demos. But Graydon in looking for another teammate. Midfield Jupiter kind of tested to see how agile they can be. There's the pinch we've been looking for. It's Graydon will get the 4th goal. We see the physical player in net creating that open space.
Yeah, and again, a great goal and well taken, but I think Jetstream, they're starting to go the wrong way of how they're making this adjustment. I see them really trying to open space up downfield. Sending a player early, and they're kind of leaving their defensive assignment there. A wonderful pitch. Fox will send that on target, and will get the escort. It's the frontline blockers that make sure that one gets through.
Both defenders for Weeb Esports absolutely deleted by Hypernova of Jetstream creating that goal. It is so easy, Cobra, to have 3 goals scored against you in a row, actually 4 goals scored against you in a row, and just kind of hang your head. Hypernova's like, we are not done yet. We've been playing physical and aggressive this entire series. We are not done yet. We see Hypernova trying to chase another demo in net. Fortunately, it doesn't work out for them, but 48 seconds, they still need 2 here.
Again, they had a really wonderful passing play earlier, and I think they're trying to recreate that. So we're going to see a bunch of downfield passes that they're occupying that space, but it's also going to allow Weeb Esports on transition to have a lot of time on the ball, a lot of time to really kind of pick apart these awkward rotations. Only 20 seconds left here in this game, and somehow Greta will get that one to go. And again, just a little bit awkward. No one's in the net. and it is the own goal there.
That's the kind of thing we want to avoid when we play aggressive. We kind of warned against this kind of thing to happen. We saw that there were some overcommits. We saw that there were some double commits. We saw that there were multiple team pinches, and we said they haven't been punished for it yet. And here we are. We see it. 5 goals, 4 of which I would say were punished directly off of playing a bit too aggressive. That one just ultimately the key, saying we played too aggressive, we own gold because of it. Not the way you want this one to end. It's a 5-2 win for Weeb Esports, barring that they don't score again, but this ball just waiting to drop, and it's just a huge win for Weeb Esports to get themselves back in it here.
Yeah, it's hopefully we'll see an adjustment here by Jetstream, because you can see what they're trying to do, and they're really trying to play quickly. They're trying to always have a presence downfield for these long passes, for immediate redirects towards net. But what they're doing is they're leaving the teammates on the back line with absolutely no support, and when everyone kind of separates from the goal, that's when Weeb Esports are finding the ball with no presence in front of them. And it seems like Jetstream are kind of playing a pace that's almost outside of the normal fast pace. They're playing faster than fast. It's a thing that they need to maybe take a step back from in order to solidify that goal line.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that we saw in Game 1. It was the script that they played. We played really aggressive in Game 1, and it worked. But they tried to play more aggressive in the following 2 games, and it didn't work for them. So trying to make that adjustment, maybe setting back the tone a little bit. We saw this one kind of just blow up in their face a little bit. Played a bit too aggressive on multiple facets of the pitch, and it just kind of ended up in their own net in multiple ways. So maybe we can see an adjustment here from them. We saw that Weeb Esports put on 6 shots in the entire game, 5 of which went in. They owned gold, yes, but Jetstream owned gold one of the times, but still, 5 goals on 6 shots. That is still very impressive, and it goes back to the thing that we said about that quality of shots is the most important key to winning in this series. And unfortunately for Jetstream, it's Weeb with the better quality chances they've given themselves.
Yeah, they're starting to kind of get some of those freer opportunities. They're having a little bit of space that they did not get in the previous games. But, I think if we see a continual type of game like this, we'll see Weeb Esports continue to lean in on what got them to this point. Jetstream, it's all the changes have to be on their side. Early block there by Hypernova, and they have to make do with a little bit of time, unfortunately demoed for their efforts.
Despite one crossing of the half field, this ball has been in the Jetstream half the entire 45 seconds of the game thus far. That one strengthening my point. Graydon's going to go for a bump on the offensive, and Duck is there to receive it. But luckily, Fox was able to spawn in a favorable position and turn the right way to get that ball out of their net. But finally, a counterattack mounting for Jetstream, one they definitely need here. An overextension from Fox is going to force a demo from Hypernova to get some defenders out, but just, again, Weeb Esports is just getting demoed over and over, but how quickly they can get back into the favorable position to just give themselves a good offense is really admirable right now.
Yeah, I mean, the demos are... It's definitely a thing where I feel like certain demos are definitely more valuable than others. Hypernova looking for a shot there, but will be deflected away. But, certain... as they're, that lead block demo where they make contact with the goalie as they're about to, attempt to save, that's super valuable. But on the transition, where there's a little bit of space where it's kind of off ball and away from the play, not as valuable. But what is valuable is that goal there from Jetstream.
What a pinch pass from Hypernova, creating some really awkward positioning. And the goal just opened like the Red Sea from Weeb Esports, and there was nobody home to stop it, and Jupiter was there to slam it home.
Yeah, and just a confident take there, making sure that they got all of that one. And now looking to defend the lead, but Weeb Esports, I'm sure that we'll see them, a little bit more aggressive here and looking to take those turns. I hope they don't go back to kind of trying to get those 100 boosts. They try to use their pathing to stay on the ball, because Jetstream, they're trying to remain present. They're trying to make sure that they have pressure the entirety of the pitch, and the demo's kind of showing that as well.
Yeah, still a lot of double commits and still a lot of aggression coming out from Jetstream. We saw the first goal, it goes their way, but we have to go back to the first minute or so of this game where they could not get a clear out. Weeb Esports just had the ball on their half the whole time. So we saw how well Weeb can press the ball on their half, and we're starting to see some of that now, is that Jetstream is starting to be boost starved. They're being forced to play a bit slower, and it's when they're the most uncomfortable. We see now Doc just holding a possession. The cars in pink are playing really calm, really collected despite the scoreline.
One opportunity here. Hypernova has been tasked quite a few times, just ends up being that back line of defense, and you know, wants a little bit more time on the ball as they kind of shove their teammate to the side. Run here for Graydon off the top. Doc should be the first one up to it. A nice little tap. It will need one more. The follow-up will be there. Ridiculous will get the goal to equalize.
Wow, Doc, that touch off just underneath the ceiling. I believe the challenge actually faked Fox out of the touch in front of the net. Ridiculous, great communication there, reading that Doc was not going to make that touch and was on it very quickly. That's the type of aggression you need, is trusting your teammates, trusting the communications and rotations that you can make to make safe overcommits like those, and that will result in goals. We see some physical play coming out from both teams now, just trying to some banter going back and forth with the demos. Now we may see a demolition derby. We see the game mode change from threes to demo derby, as we've seen in the last few minutes. Now that shot threatening. Hypernova able to keep it out just on the low side of the net.
Yeah, I mean, Jetstream, they're really going for that physical game style, and I'm not sure if it's bothering Weeb Esports in the way they think it is, but you know, there's a few dangerous situations when Jetstream completely sell out on a play to get that demo and try to secure a lane for the shot. That's what Weeb Esports have to make sure they're staying mobile, they're staying aware of where every player is on the pitch, because it is starting to get dangerous out there on the field.
I would not want to have my car out there, as you see Hypernova continuously getting demo after demo, just trying to open up some sort of lane. But it just seems like with every demo, the skin heals back stronger. Weeb Esports, as I say that, the caster curse is there. But at every demo they were getting stronger, but that is just up to Hypernova to find the opening and slot it from downtown.
That is a big old circle that Ridiculous just drew on that backboard. You know, was in a good spot on the backboard, went to go down and exit, and then turn right back around, and just maybe a little bit of wasted movement there, and not able to see a good defense there. But 30 seconds left, still some opportunities for Weeb Esports, but they need the ball.
There's the ball, but Hypernova has control of it. Jupiter just almost had that chance on the net. 18 seconds. Weeb Esports is back on offense. Nobody in net yet from Jetstream, but that touch just is able to diffuse some pressure for the time being. Hypernova, plenty of boost to make a play there, but Graydon is there to make an awkward touch. Ridiculous out of the corner, looking for Doc in the midfield. This pinches right back midfield. Ridiculous. We have a Rule 1 to 3, and he breaks the Rule 1 to try and score. This still stays up. Ridiculous is there. 0 seconds. We have overtime.
My oh my, you just need to play the ball on the ground, and somehow Weeb Esports are able to keep light touches and allow their teammates to come out and help them overtime here in what is a crucial game 4.
Both teams need this game to stay alive. I would definitely say Jetstream needs it more. Now this chance back in the way of Nola Flight. This touchdown to Jupiter, but just a bit too far for Vox to handle. Now overtime is this is a new thing we've seen, kind of a golden goal situation going here. Weeb Esports needs it to shut out the series. Great, and the chance just able to keep it out of the net. Jupiter just able to stretch out with the hitbox there. The shot once again. Jupiter is able to keep it out of the net for the second time in about 10 seconds. That's a dangerous touch from Fox, and Weeb Esports is looking to continue this one. After breaking Rule 1, I don't agree with it, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the Rocket League gods look kindly on these things, and Fox will seal the deal here. And they didn't control much of overtime, but they control their fate now. Game 5 locked and loaded.
Jupiter the man in this overtime to keep themselves alive. Jetstream is in this game because of the 2 saves that Jupiter made on the goal line, enforcing that awkward 50 off the sidewall to force it right back mid for Jetstream to score that overtime goal. They almost gave it up there at the very end. The 0-second goal led them to overtime, but they hang on and force that much needed game 5.
Yeah, and both these teams are really starting to even up on all of the stats here. It is multiple shots, kind of in favor of Weeb, but very close. The touches, the demos. I think Hypernova had about 5, if I can remember. I think Doc had somewhere around 4 or 5 as well. They were kind of leading into that aggressive playstyle as well, and now both of these teams fighting over one final game. We go to Champions Field for game number 5.
What not a better place but Champions Field to decide a series that almost ended last game in an overtime that none of us expected to happen. But here we are. We have the setting. Champions Field game 5. Weeb Esports and Nameplate Jetstream.
Weeb Esports have, it's we talked about their mental toughness and how it's a little bit awkward here. Hopefully no own goal here, but how tough can they be after that overtime goal? How can they bring it back into the fold here? I'm very excited to see, especially after that first moment.
Oh, what a pass from Doc straight after the toss over. Is just facilitating plays on the front end of the field, just trying to make the bumps, forces Hypernova and the other defenders into awkward spots and creates a goal for Graydon. It's Weeb Esports up 1-0.
Yeah, Hypernova was playing that as the shot. Was not expecting a light touch to the back post, but it will be good here for Weeb Esports, and they're going to look for as much buffer as possible. They do not want to keep this one close because Jetstream have proved that they could get the offense working to keep up with their scoring.
They had 13 shots last game. We're talking about Weeb Esports. 13 shots last game compared to, I believe, 7 from Jetstream. Jetstream ultimately forced a game 5 here, but the overcommit is going to be difficult for them to get back to. It's ridiculous, though. Able to finally get back to this one. A dangerous position to put this ball in, though, as Jupiter is going to force them to be in an even more awkward position. But Graydon, huge clear, much needed here. Ridiculous. He's going to have a wide open net chance. Double tap. No good. Fox is there to diffuse some pressure. Doc is going to try and scoop it up there on the offensive end. But once again, has a man midfield. Jupiter there to cover it up. A huge 50. It's going to force Hypernova to make once again another huge clear.
And right now, I think Weeb Esports are playing really smart Rocket League here. They're not diving at those opportunities. They're trying to do as much as they can to stay on the ball, stay present, and allow mistakes on Jetstream to lead to more possession here.
Yeah, and we're seeing Jetstream trying to go for some back-end demos, taking out the third-man rotation, pushing up a bit too far for boost. I've seen Hypernova do it twice, Fox do it once now, just trying to pick off just a couple of demos here and there. That's a threatening shot. Jupiter handles it well back to the corner. Both teams are trying to put out their best. The best play that they have throughout this entire series is being played now. This is probably some of the cleanest Rocket League we've seen out of all 5 games thus far, despite the early close chance we saw earlier. But 1-0 game still. Both teams, I would say, are about equal as far as possession goes, but just still Weeb with that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, in Jetstream, it feels like they need something off of the transition play. Because when we get everybody locked in and everybody on that defensive rotation, they're looking fairly solid, but there are some moments where if they get something really quickly, one of those passes with someone downfield, they might be able to find an opening, find an opportunity here. But they're spending a lot of time on the defense now as Weeb Esports do not mind kind of moving laterally with them to lock them on their side.
At this point, they have the lead. They need to play the clock game, but this is Rocket League. We have so much action. Anything can happen, as we saw in the first game. Some crazy goals can go in. Still 2 minutes to play, but Doc, once again, getting physical there, trying to take out some defenders. It's going to be Graydon there. I didn't think anyone was back, but Graydon surprised me there, as we see, once again, a 2-on-1. Here's Doc going to have, oh my goodness, what a save from Hypernova. Just able to keep this game alive. Holy cow.
I've seen double saves before, and it's usually a player makes a save, is able to reset. has to make another one. They were still in the air. They were still floating and just managing to maneuver their car enough to cover that second shot. Absolutely incredible.
Hypernova just trying to put a shot on net real quick, but Ridiculous there once again able to diffuse the pressure that's there. We have about 3.5 straight minutes of scoreless Rocket League, still in favor of Weeb Esports. Now Graydon just trying to flip a touch into the corner, a bit too hard of a touch. It's going to fall back in the hands of Nola Flight, but Ridiculous. Awkward touch off the back. We're going for a bump there. But Doc, once again, huge 50 Jupiter. Credited with the save for that one. Fox, the doink, no good past Graydon. Ridiculous is going to try and slot one in the open net. Hypernovas, be careful with low boost there. But Doc, the shot on net is going to be good. Slotted top left, and it's 2-goal lead for Weeb Esports.
Look at the setup. It's a huge turn. Graydon, kind of on the opposite side of the ball, is operating at that second man and decides, no, I could dish this. I could get back around to give teammate another opportunity here. They have the buffer, and Jetstream do not have a ton of time to make up ground.
44 seconds is all they have to survive thus far in this series. Now, Graydon, this guy's going to take it over Fox, who was just deleted for their efforts. Now, Jupiter is going to be knocked back, forced back in his own half. 30 seconds. Precious time is burning off of this clock, and Weeb Esports cannot get enough of it.
Hypernova up here looking to show something, but again, the double commit, that buys a ton of time for Weeb Esports because no one's able to get a look except the final defender. We're approaching, it is do or die time, but Jetstream can't get a hold of the ball.
Despite the scare from last game, Weeb Esports is looking like they're going to hang on and get a third goal here and take the series in a 3-2 series in Game 5. Ooh.
Yeah, just unfortunately just too big of a hole to get themselves out of 3 goals. And as soon as Weeb Esports had that goal, it seemed like they controlled the game. They played the way they wanted to play, and their third man did such a good job of staying at a decent space. The positioning was absolutely phenomenal here. And, you know, they move on, but it was not an easy victory at all.
Not at all. And that's kind of what we expected in this series. We saw Jetstream come out like a cannon out of game 1, putting on multiple goals. I want to say it was a 3-0 scoreline, and Weeb just answers. A few games in a row, they had the scare in game 4, which led him here to game 5, and they just executed and got it done. They stay perfect on the season, move up to a 3-0 record. Unfortunately, Jetstream falls back to 2-1, but I have no doubt in my mind that with how close this series was, how well both these teams played, we're going to see more of both of these teams again towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, for Jetstream, it is, you know, a step back, but, you know, it's all they could do is regain. We know they have the talent, but speaking of talent, we have Doc coming in for the interview. Doc, how are you doing, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing amazing. I mean, what a game there. Had us on the edge of our seats. Talk about how that game went back and forth. What was it like for you guys in the call as you're kind of going through game to game?
Well, first off, all the cards to them. They were a fantastic team. They played great. In the call, we really just try to keep good vibes. Like, we just kind of don't take ourselves too seriously. You know, have fun, lighthearted spirits, good jokes, and I think it kind of keeps our gameplay better to not get too sunk into the details. You know, just sit back, play our game, and do what we can.
And that's a great job you guys doing that. We saw after the first game, I don't think there were any demos registered on the scoreboard. After game 1, we saw Nola Flight, they got a little bit frustrated. They were like, that was a tough win, but you guys won game 2. They started demoing it. We saw you guys maybe try and get a little, you guys tried to get a little bit back at them, but after the second game, you guys went crazy with the demos. You guys played your game. How was it seeing that these guys were all over you, all over the ball, just demoing left and right? What kind of thing did you guys have to do? What kind of change did you have to make to adjust to that?
Yeah, they were definitely all over us. Definitely had to start picking up the pace a little bit, trying to get bigger clears, give ourselves some time to reset and really get out of the pressure they were putting us in. Because, like you say, once they got into our half, they really started to lock down on us pretty well.
All right, so now kind of looking past this game, you get another victory. You're still unbeaten in this tier. How are you feeling about some of the other teams you're playing. How are you feeling about your journey kind of moving forward through the next few weeks?
I mean, obviously, we're hoping to keep the streak going and keep playing as well as we can. Hopefully, we can start closing it out before Game 5 because these are starting to get a little bit stressful. But yeah, I think we're confident. It felt good to especially get a win with a different roster than we played with last week. Kind of a last-minute put together. But yeah, I'm confident, and I hope we can continue to keep producing.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal here. You guys move on to 3-0, tied for the 1 seed in your division here. That's just a huge task at hand to continue that pressure. I mean, what do you guys think the key is? You said that this is a new roster. What do you guys think the key is to keep everybody on the roster together to have more of a successful season? You said you don't want any more Game 5s. What do you think will propel you guys to kind of achieve what you're looking for and not taking everything to a Game 5?
I think we just need to get our Game 1s have been a little bit rough. We've kind of tend to start off series slow and then have to dig our way out of a hole. So hopefully if we can start a little bit faster and maybe find our groove a little sooner, we can start to get to our level faster and start closing out series before Game 5.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. Any last minute words that you'd like to say? The floor is yours.
Again, NOLA, they were great. That was a fantastic team, great series. Shout out my teammates, they were great, backpacking me through all 5 games. Couldn't ask for a better team to be with. And shout out my mom, who's downstairs watching. Hi, Mom, I love you.
Well, thank you so much, Doc, for coming in the interview. Congratulations again. Go celebrate with your team. Go celebrate with your mom. Hi, Mom. And you just have a great night. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Hi, Mom, by the way, just to put that out there.
We love the parents.
Yeah, we love the parents joining on in, but that is the end. All series done there in week 3. Had a lot of wonderful games. How are you feeling about the night, Payday? We saw a ton of great Rocket League.
I could not complain at all with what we saw tonight. We saw some overtimes. We saw some own goals. What else can you ask for? But what can you ask for is a wonderful raid to a wonderful person. We are raiding Tryhouse. We love him.
Absolutely. So make sure you stick around for that. Other than that, the stream will end here, but we will be back next week with some more Rocket League. We will see you next time. Take care.